Alright, we have returned back. Let's check to see what has changed. Okay, it's still going. I might have to make more, I might have to make the vaults a bit bigger so we can, like, store more. I might try something. Maybe I can place a funnel and it just outputs the material off of it or out of it. Let's see. $19 iron blocks. That's still a decent amount. But I can turn these into turn them into plates. Plus, I do want to see what I can use the flint for. I'm just going to stand right here and just do some research on flint. Okay. Flint block. Let me see here. A decorative and storage block that can provide a use for your extra flints. When pushed by a piston, it can scrape against any full-face iron, like a block, to produce sparks. If a flammable block is nearby, it will catch fire. This allows to have a on-demand durationless flint and steel. Opposite also works, which means you can move the iron block against a flint block instead. These interactions also work with quark magnets. I think we also have feather blocks as well. Interesting. So let me check into this flint, because I know we have tons of flint. Let me just collect this stack here, because we have tons of flint from the gravel. Okay, so if we, let's see. I probably do want to see the piston idea. So, ooh, okay. That's pretty dangerous. What if I just run on foot? Okay, that's normal. What if I try with diamond? That's kind of cool. I can install flint, which means no running. Let's see. Okay, so diamonds don't work, so only iron works. That is very good to know. Interesting. So if I run, it creates fire. Yeah, I think if I really want to make a security room, I could probably place down all this flint, and I could do something like that. And maybe put something down where they can't use somehow it forces the diamond boots off of them, and if they try to walk, they can't get through. That's probably like one way to set up a very interesting security system. But I don't think I have a mind to create a security system yet, since that does sound very sophisticating. But I know today I'm supposed to work on making the gold farm. Because once I make that, we have gold. But I still got to work on the vaults. I know today is Saturday, but I think they're also maybe at work, or I mean, people do work on the weekends. But I was wondering, like, probably to see like a few that I could interact with. But ever since I uploaded those episodes, they told me to do a live stream, because they said it's better in a sense, but I don't really think live streaming is for me, since this is intentional. Like, I'd rather record than stream, because streaming is more of like real time, but I just want to make it where this is like set in stone, and I can just, it's sort of like if I stream, I'm more sidetracked of like the live feed, and I'd probably be more distracted by the live feed than the actual game. Streaming is fine, it's just, I'm just saying, what I'm doing here is intentional. I wish I could make an enchanted golden apple farm, but we can't do that. We can only make golden apples, which is fine. If I did make enchanted golden apples, then it would definitely be game breaking, since I can just eat stacks of enchanted golden apples whenever I feel like. But again, I think that's gonna break the game. Might as well eat some dried kelp. But I am thinking about going to the Nether and just maybe go to a bastion just to see if I could get some netherite, but only just for the back tank, not to make netherite armor. But let me check the monulite though. Let me see here. Okay, so these just use regular ingots. Okay, so I think they did change. Okay, so now they added the recipes. I think I was trying to do a showcase on this. So this is how you make the coin molder. Yeah, that's how you make the coin molder. And the armor is just the monolite ingots itself. But I have to see if I can try to like increase their drops. Trying to see like how can I do that. And since I can make barrels, that will also mean I can begin making tanks and pipes just to put fluids in. And upgrade. So let's see here. Okay. Okay, I really need to understand these dimensions. Okay, so that's 1, that's 4. Okay. I'm trying to do that. Strange. There we go. So that one... Ooh, there we go. Let's see how was this one connected? Look at all this flint. Flint galore. If I can just convert them into blocks, that would be nice. There we go. And all I gotta do is just use the funnels and just get stacks. Got something in my eye. I'm just getting my mind and try to stop my itchy eye. Because my eye is itchy. But since we still have a big laboratory, so all we got to do is make gold farm. And let me check andesite, because I know we're going to have to try to make some more andesite. Okay, diorite. Let's see. Flint. Lava. Flint and lava. That is naturally sophisticating. I mean, I do see this happening in the Nether. Like in the Nether, I do see that happening, but I'm had to do research on that. So let me check about the lava pump. Let me see. $10,000 blocks or more as an infinite bottomless supply. When the pump pulls from a pool of the size, the source blocks will never deplete. That means the Nether is probably the only way to make infinite amount of andesite. Unless I know how to get diorite. I might make another tank that probably holds a lot of gravel. And somehow I gotta get pumps of lava, but I have to use drainers and spouts. This is going to be very sophisticating, because if you look this way, I see a lava pool right here. I'm just going to dig in here to see, like, what can we do? Because I'm still going to make gold, but if I really want to make a andesite generator for andesite alloys, it's going to help with future creations and future automation, because I know we're at like the bottom layer, so I gotta be careful. That's not 10,000 blocks, but plus I'm not sure how it's gonna like pull lava. I'm not sure if it like pulls all of it. Like I never tried it before. Let's see. I'll say a fair lava geode. What's this? Another mine shaft. But I know this is not 10,000 blocks though. But it's still a lava pool in a sense. Plus I don't know how long this expands. Like, I can't tell if this is 1,000, but it may look like 100, 300, 400. But I would definitely have to put the gold farm, but still use their cogwheels, and then probably put it like right here, and then we got a gold farm. But that's if I want to use item frames and try to frame certain parts, like this is iron, this is this, and this is that. It's all part of the experience. I remember I did last night check into anything I can make with Create. I check about grinding rails, escalators. I think making escalators might be interesting, but that's if I really want to avoid using elevators. They sent me all the way out here. I could have built them an elevator to the island. But they cast me out here. Just gotta deal with it. Hmm. I think over time, once I start to build this out, I might be able to do might build a showcase room where I can show people how to use Create while I'm still learning it. I think I might be able to put a buffer. Right now I'm adding a buffer. Alright. I enable my in-game message or voice just in case. Alright, so this is going to passively collect gravel. This helps to clean up the system a little bit. Ooh, okay. That means if I make more of these filters or these brass funnels, I can set them up where they can drop only stacks. But this is one way to clean up the the mess. Okay. I need sandpaper. Harvey left. I guess he might be trying server performance or test and see how many ticks my machinery is probably, you know, impacting the bandwidth of the connection. But it's interesting that there's like barely people online, but I do understand some people have jobs and lives beyond the internet. I think at some point they'll understand that scripting everything is just not the way to go. But if they do, then they do. Exactly 64. This is my first time actually learning how to use the smart funnels and with their settings. So when we do this, we only get stacks because it's only gonna output a stack. It's one way to control the flow. So when this happens, this makes the process more efficient to clean instead of just seeing nuggets then flint. You actually see like a very clean process going on. So in short, I cleaned the process. Or organized it. Which means the iron should be produced a little more efficiently now instead of it just taking one at a time. I still have plans on making the gold farm. I think making the gold farm might be a lot more sophisticated, because if I want to do this, I have to try to get soul sand. So we have to wash it, and then we gotta filter nether quartz and gold nugget, because if I do this, then I don't have to go to nether to get soul sand. And then for soul sand, I just have to get soul sand and just place flames or fire and just let it cook regular sand on a belt. And to get sand, I have to use the crushing wheels, which means that would technically mean that's if I want to use like a system, but somehow I have to stack a lot of gravel somewhere, because I know having a lot of flint is going to be a crazy amount, but if I accumulate that much gravel, then I could probably use the conveyors or the mechanical belts to push and pull things in and out the vault for the gravel, and then the gravel gets traveled to the, or I think what I could do is, that means I have to have like 2 crushing wheels kind of just work. I have like one layer and then a second layer that crushes the gravel down, and once it's crushed down, we get sand, flint, and clay. And then I have to figure out what can I do with clay other than just, I could just make bricks, and then bricks I can make mostly just designer, but that's if I want to have a stack of clay somewhere. A skillet, roan bricks. Okay, we have cooking pots and such. Let's see. Okay, a brick to another brick. Roan stone bricks. I mean, I'm not really building any like fancy places unless I really want to make like a smeltery. Maybe I might use the bricks for the smeltery in the nether. But I think if I'm ever trying to, like, say, go as far as to getting soul sand, then sand, that means gravel is the top priority. These get filtered out and dumped into the lava somewhere, and then sand accumulates, and then I can move the sand over, and then we have ourselves soul sand, and soul sand gets washed down to nether quartz and gold, and I can repeat the process for the gold with the with the whole convert the ingots into nuggets into ingots, and ingots to a block, and then we have blocks of, and then we got gold blocks, and I can just let the game run and just let it process that. But I really do need to think about what to do with the gravel though, because gravel is insane. I mean, it's useful, but I'm still trying to figure out, like, how can I make infinite amount of andesite? Because it needs lava too. And lava is pretty expensive in this case, unless I go to the nether to get it. I am not sure if somebody's cutting grass or my mother's blow drying her hair again. I mean, I really don't know anymore. That's part of life. I think once I build the gold farm, then I will return to the floating islands to see what happened. Or to see, like, you know, what's everyone up to. Do I so explore? Some observation? Cardboard. Oh, I can package items. Interesting. A cuckoo clock. That's if I really want to use it. Okay. The stressimeter. Produce more than 1,000 train tracks with the same mechanical. Okay, let me type train tracks. So it's either iron or zinc, but by then we have a lot of iron, and we gotta put. I'm gonna put a stone slab. So we gotta do that 1,000 times. That's crazy. But it's not impossible. It's just, it looks difficult, and all you just gotta do is just increase the I think that advancement would be one of the absurdest ones. But that's if I'm ready to make trains. Because I want to learn how to make the train move and such like that, but I probably have to wait until I get further and want to actually make transportation. But I have to first learn the drill, like, you know, putting a drill here and just let it keep going out, and I can just travel by train to a different chunk far away and just explore a little bit. Yeah, I actually like how clean the system really is. It's so clean that you don't see a lot of gravel everywhere causing lag spikes. Since I add buffers, it makes the laboratory more stable. I'm doing whatever I can just to minimize waste and try to help the environment even if I'm underground, meters down. Still gotta respect our planet. Because we live in a very small, beautiful world filled with problems. Just have to cherish your existence. So how do we get this? I think I probably have to put like, I guess like raw iron in there just to get the experience orbs or the experience cubes. I have a feeling that people barely use the experience cubes because they don't have like any other purpose other than just be little experience block holders. Wait a second. Let me try drain. We got an item drain. I really want to see what else is in create. Sketch somatic. Hose pulling. Piston extension pole. Gantry shaft. What's this? That's interesting. So, if I replay that, that's if I want to make like a vertical platform or a vertical elevator, and I could just let it cross through, like, say, for example, like a chassis or even the nether. I could probably use that to like stand on, and then I could just command it with the contact, redstone contact. That'll probably be pretty cool. I know we need to put some more pressure in our back tank. But what you guys saw was me just, mining out this area for the gold farm. And then the owner comes online. I guess he's probably going to talk about why I didn't edit it out. He could have just... he's really just... I understand, but... he can't, I'm just going to say he has to understand that you can't force everybody into a script. It has to happen naturally. You can't say, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Because that's not how gaming works. I came here to have fun, to decompress, and just relax. I didn't come here to perform. I came here just to hang out, to chill. But if everything has to be a performance, an act, anything like that, it's draining because it can make anybody tired. Imagine you just coming home from work. You just want to play the game, right? Say hypothetically, you're a performer that just came from, say, doing a lot of acting on your job. And then once the show is over, you just want to relax. Maybe to smoke a cigarette or just relax. And then suddenly, the boss calls you to work overtime because the audience loves the performance. But the reason why you want to do acting or performing in the first place is for the fun of it. You just want to have fun. To enjoy the moment. Because sometimes I'm trying to put an analogy together, but I'm a little bit exhausted from all this mining that I'm doing, but it's all part of the experience. Because because what I'm doing is letting Minecraft dictate the story. Because Minecraft is what's carrying the story. If you have scripts and such, it's fine to have lore. It's fine. But if you're not naturally progressing the story, you're just, slowing it down and just stalling. People just know that you're just stalling it. gotta charge this up. First, let me charge this tank. Oh, I can just click it. I thought I had to use the wrench. Oh, so it did send a redstone pulse. Interesting. I mean, he could tell me, but if it's about lore, he could have just came over and told me. But he thinks I'm gonna do it again. Where it's like, I'm just gonna show the reality of it. I was in a flow state, and then this happened. This is all part of the experience, apparently. If I pause it, that means it's gonna be a strange edit. But he could have just messaged me on Discord to tell me like what it's about. But I guess he wants to verbally tell me. I'm just going to say I did pause it because I can always just glimpse into it and then process it and just, say it after, but I'll still have to summarize it. Yeah, I was talking to my mother because she called me on my phone while I was just having a chat. But we came to a mutual understanding. But for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and just build my lab. Because that's mostly where my mind is gonna be at anyway. Just my lab. And I did in fact pause the video or edit it out because they did share things that was very important. But it was real. They showed their burnout, everything. But since I gave them, let them relax, or just ease the pressure off their shoulders a little, we can still continue like it's a normal playthrough. And I know the recording is like a lot, but I gotta trim out like a good portion of it because it was a very long talk, but I let him speak because I wasn't in a rush anywhere. He's not wasting my time. I came here just to play create and learn it. And interestingly, he did disclose his age. I mean, to tell you guys mine, I'm 24. But he told me he's about to turn 19 in like, I guess like a few months from now. But he's learning, and I'm also learning. I tell him a few things that can help. He may not understand it or maybe not process all of it, but he might take note on a few things. But at least it's going to help him a little bit with setting it up to be a lot more smoother or seamless. And I showed him my lab. I showed him the underground laboratory. Normally it's supposed to be off limits, but I showed it to him because I'm more invested in learning create. But I'm pretty sure once I get back from my visit from my aunt's house, I guess he's gonna like put me in the lore where I'm somehow in it, and then yeah. But it's gonna go smoothly. I know I gotta like repair this pickaxe because I'm still trying to build the gold farm. But my mother was telling me to do this, 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 do this. I'm just saying the list just goes on and on and on and on. And I'm just saying to myself, she's supposed to tell me one thing or a few things, but she's talking to me as if I'm in a college, having to sit through all of it to digest every word that she says. It's insane. I also want to see how many iron blocks we get from, the time that we've been on here. So let me just get a, okay. Might as well just make another funnel. And I think he did let us go to the Nether now. I'm just saying it was quite strange based on the pacing. I think that was the confusion. I think it was just the pacing. Like he was saying like he doesn't want nobody to go beyond that pacing alone and things. But again, it's a lot for him to control, but he's learning. I may not be an SMP expert, but he's still human, trying to learn. How many blocks of iron is this? 55 blocks of iron. That's a lot. That's a lot. And then if I want to do something with the flint, like I said, I can still add like little traps and such. Or maybe, I don't know, somehow put like, if I have access, maybe like access flint and access clay or something excessive, then I could just dump it out into the lava. But that's gonna be a lot of, oh, okay, I forgot. I have to actually turn it off because it's gonna auto pull because it's set to automated. Yeah, so I changed it back to manual so you don't accidentally get sucked into it. Okay, so yeah, that is automatic. I didn't know that it can actually change modes like that. Because if you just walk into it, you just get pulled in. You could just be working and then you accidentally get sucked into it. Okay, now it's locked. It means you have to manually shift. So I was just getting a bucket of lava. I want to clean this out because I'm trying to reduce overflow. See? That's how you keep the tanks nice and clean. But we'll always have tons of flint, so we're fine. but I can say a few snippets from the interaction. He was telling me he was exhausted. He tends to make mistakes. I just told him, "You're fine, man. We're human. We're not perfect. We just exist. That's all we are. We just exist." Our imperfection doesn't mean we're broken. It just means we're unique. I do have the urge to like break this so it could be just one big box and then make some more of those wheels, or maybe make some other wheels just for the mechanical just for the mechanical crafter, so we could yeah, so have the mechanical crafter make crushing wheels, make one gold farm, and then we got gold. But I'll definitely make some more wheels. Where should I place this at? Because I might just place it on this wall for now. Yep. Because when I'm ready, I can just burrow into the wall again, make the large wheels, and then place water again, brute force this, and then let it power up. So we can have that, and then we can have the crushers, because I gotta make I have to make a total of 4 wheels, which means I gotta do it 2 times, and then I have to set up the system where it has to come from maybe 1 point, who knows, I might even set it right here, and then it just drops down to a lower tier or a lower level, and I gotta go to the nether to get some soul sand, or even convert it into soul sand. I think I'm gonna have to get soul sand for the sake of using the flames to convert it, and then make some more vaults and make some more barrels. And we got ourselves a system that makes quartz, or stores quartz, and also gold nuggets. But I would say this factory, or this laboratory, is going to be a lot bigger, and we're going to have a lot of metal, tons of metal. Diamonds used to be rare, extremely rare. Now they're just very common, just like iron. Even ancient debris is being treated the same way. It just becomes easier to find. I guess that's why people say they need the end update. But even the end update is supposed to be nothing but a huge void. If they add new type of ore that's supposed to be stronger than netherite, but it also requires the upgrade of netherite, then you just get end material. But even though they call it the end, they will have to probably rename it to something else if you really want to keep the Minecraft lore continuing, where it's not the end at all, but they could just call it just a typical void, or call it the void. And then I don't know, because if they want an end update, they could just play modded Minecraft. Because if you play modded Minecraft, like better end or better nether, or just install mods that do something with the ancient city, or the deep dark, or anything just to give the world like some more depth, they could just do that. But sometimes people sort of just rally behind hype just to make it sound interesting. Like, the logical thing to do is to just try modded Minecraft, but they probably just want something to be in the base game. But you know what happens with the base game? They're just gonna upload very little. But when Minecraft was growing, they were updating the game very fast. They added bunnies, they added different biomes and different structures. Like, they were actually adding a lot more things during that time because the game was growing very fast. And now we have game drops, which they call them like, I'd rather call them updates, but they're very small updates. But what they're doing is they're trying not to, it's like they're trying to keep the audience on edge every time, thinking like they're gonna do as they're being told to, because maybe they receive tons of requests and they just, because you have some people that are diehard fans, and sometimes fans don't understand about waiting. They just want something now because their emotional states dictates that they need it now. Like, I have encountered many people like that, even through my own videos, such as mod showcases, like for the Deeper and Darker or the Enderite mod. People were just so hyped about everything about 1.26, or I think it was, it is 1.26, or was it 26.1? I mean, I really don't know anymore because the version numbers are just changing to whatever. But now we have 26.1 and all that stuff. People are talking about that version of Minecraft. I mean, my mind is not even at that version. I'm still stuck in the trilogy of 1.x. Anything that's like 1.1, 1.2, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, 1.10, 1.11, 1.12, 1.13, 1.14, and then so forth. It's like the version numbers just keep jumping, and then 26 was kind of like a funny number in my head because all I know is like 1 point something. Maybe they put 26 because it's the year 26. Maybe they're able to change the versions now because they've been doing it for years. So if you keep coming up with the 1.30 to the 1.40, it still seems like they're still functioning at their old pace. But the old pace is just gone. Now it's just speed and optimization just to get more people to buy stuff from the marketplace. I just know that it's one crazy ride that we've been on for a while when Minecraft was going through its phases. Then you have the Minecraft movie Squared. I'm really wondering how that movie's going to play. I assume people are just going to wait until there's something that's a trend or a meme and they're just going to do it again. Like, it really doesn't matter anymore because people just will do anything for internet clout. If they're just going to use it just to boost their channels or something like that, yeah, I think we're so far touched out of reality that people would just do anything just to condone very odd and I would say very abnormal behavior. But I would say that type of behavior is more so like obsession behavior. Like, I already know all about the incident with the chicken jockey and stuff. But luckily, when I went to the movies, I saw the early screening way before everybody, went crazy over it. I would say there was people in their teens and there was a few adults around my age. And the movie theater was mostly open. Like, it was not like a lot of people in there. But I think the only reason why it became so viral was because maybe the kids, it's probably teenagers or little children just doing unnecessary things just to be viral for something that's very silly or very extreme. Like, I saw the chicken and all that. What's so special about the chicken jockey? I mean, they're rare, but I see them all the time, so it's nothing new. They're just kind of just doing things just to get attention. I mean, it's good to have fun, but I'll say that type it's just chaos. Like where's the word? Like, does it even have meaning, or is it just something just because somebody's emotional state kind of just dictates that they got to do something impulsively, and they just wrap it around as it's a meme. It's only a meme because they're just doing it just to be viral. I'm telling you, the human mind is very complicated. Like, you're trying to find logic with it, but when you come across logic, sometimes what you get as a result is emotions. That's what you get. They're emotionally charged when they do that. that was crazy amount of excavating. But now you see that all this has been cleared. Now we can commence making the farm now. Oh my goodness. I would say it took me it's crazy that it took a lot of time. Yeah, it got to be at least up to like 64. And I know we also have clay. How much clay is here? Okay, I'm just trying to see, like, is there like any more clay? How you get clay? Okay, so I guess clay was just a byproduct. Yeah, I think it was just a byproduct when it was trying to like crush the gravel again when I was not filtering it correctly. So I guess that was just a byproduct error. So we gotta make the large wheels. Make the large wheels. That means I gotta do the other one the same way. Yeah, I can probably make some more. Alright, so all I just need is diorite and some stone. Or maybe get my hands on some andesite. But I can tell you, like, what he told me. Well, a few things, like very small things. He said he was going to build the island right across from here because that was going to happen. He's going to build an island. But I'm thinking about using the hypertubes. But I was going to be like, you know what? Let me just try something sophisticating. So I said, maybe when I come back later, I could try to set up a new docking area or something and try to use the gantry. Use the gantry to like move up and down here, but it's going to take us to one place to the next. But I think it's going to be controlled with the controller where we can probably go from A to B. But I have to learn how to set that up because that's definitely a source of transportation. But we got to make like a little station. And I think he also said, can I put chesses on it and can it be moved while chesses are added to it? I say I think it could. Yeah, that's if I want to like. That's if he's trying to like move something or store something on the go, and just have like chests and then just puts it there, and then he might be coming in with like loads of other things. But but it's gonna be cool when you see how the gantry just moves. But I would say it's probably better than just a bridge. It's probably just gonna be like an actual actual like an actual mechanism that actually does that. It makes it feel like I'm using science to propel forward. I need some andesite. Flint, gravel, lava, andesite. That would technically mean I would have to like somehow that would mean I have to make like a... Actually, wait a minute. If I think of it that way, yeah, that means the andesite farm will definitely have to be made in the nether. Yeah, because I can use the lava. I can use the lava and still power up by lava instead of water. But I think my brain is cooking up something, and that is a good sign. Okay, we get hit with water. So I need at least, what, 19 blocks of diorite? If I had my helmet on, I could be under here for a little longer. I see some actual andesite blocks over there. But I think what I did was quite absurd. Is I've been mining a lot of deep slate for like a long time right now. So I'm kind of just getting used to just breaking deep slate just about every time I play. It's that realization when you realize you've been breaking a lot of deep slate just about every day. I really do need to figure out a way to get more wood. All right. Now we gotta do the water, because that means we have 8 large wheels. Let me just do it like this. They all go up. These all go down. Just hoping this is lined up appropriately. I could just put the large wheel like right here, like right next to it, and then you'll just see how it functions up close instead of me making gear shafts every second. Yep, lava right there. Still being mindful about the lava. All right. Okay. So why is the bottom spinning like that? Like the bottom is spinning a lot faster. Let's see. Ah. Okay, that makes sense. So that means I might have to place this like that and then place the large like that. I never knew it was like two ways of actually like doing it. But that's still interesting. So I'm still forced to make like another but this what progression feels like. It's very heavy. But I gotta keep pushing. It's immediately overstressed. $100. Okay, that's tolerable. And I know I gotta get like, at least like any type of stone, andesite, diorite, and just make ore crushers. I might as well just let that stack. Because when I always log out or AFK or just do something else in life, it's gonna build up. There we go. for the farm. For the... So now we gotta work on the farm. I mean, I did create a lot of space. And I think from this angle, I could probably keep continuing with the large water wheels this way. Because I just need a few of these just to make a few of those crushing wheels. Okay. So now that's what that does. I know for the first step, I would probably have to line this up similarly, but it might be different because depending on how it is. So, because I know for one, I have to make the drill, another drill head. So I gotta make a drill. I might as well bring the crafting table over. Crafting table. Sometimes this can be messy, guys, but it's all part of the experience. Because what we're going to do is still continue making that gold farm. Because I'm not giving up. I'm going to make it. Okay. I can also think about making a factory that makes andesite casings for days. But it's going to need wood. And I gotta somehow make tons of wood. It's just gonna be very grindy. So mechanical drill, because I know for one, I mean I could build this higher, but again I may have to make some more of those large wheels, because I know we gotta make like more. But I gotta see if I have like any more in the chest. But I know andesite is going to be very important. Like, very important. Let me just go up there and get some andesite. Get this stuff on. Put this stuff on. I know, guys, it seems like my mind is kind of fighting with itself. Because I'm trying to figure out, like, what can I do in the meantime? But this is the reality. You have to sit there and juggle if it's worth going to pick up this item or get this or get that. This is the fastest that this thing can go. Alright, now it's at its fastest. I probably still put it at like very low speed. Because I was looking at the units. I mean, it's a slight bit faster, but it doesn't change much other than it still gets me to where I need to go. But once I install the accelerators, then it'll probably just be even faster. But I never tried the accelerators. So where's that hole? This was supposed to be the elevator, but who knows? I might have other plans. I can also feel the weight of the blocks too. Like breaking andesite feels a lot lighter than me constantly just breaking deep slate every time. It just did something to my brain. Like it just feels more relaxing. But I'm also realizing too, since we have more, like a lot more iron, we can actually make andesite alloy a lot easier. Okay, so zinc is like a alternative to iron package filter. Trying to see like what else I can use zinc for other than just making brass. Rose quartz. I know this probably is important. Okay, I'm just trying to see what this is. Okay. That's interesting. I thought they could just be like used for like other reasons. But I guess they can still be used for like signaling if something is full or what floor you're on. But I would say that's more like a sophisticated, more like a sophisticating usage of it. Okay, so I think as long the water is traveling, I think it provides power. Interestingly. All right. All right. Then we gotta then we gotta use the crushing wheels, and then we gotta automate. Because now that we have this, we can definitely make like 2 like ports or 2. I can make 2. One is for like other machinery, and then that's that. So for the drill, I know I had to put like a water and a lava source block near it. Let's see. Maybe I can probably like have it out some. Like this, and maybe this is where the drill can go. I know the drill can also harm you, so you gotta be careful. Yep, see? It hurts. I could probably use these just to maybe see how fast it can kill a warden. But I'll have to definitely set up the same way. Let's see how fast it can break this. If I set it to the max... Let me see how fast it can break obsidian. If I even have spare blocks of obsidian. Because it's made out of iron, but I just want to see, can it like break obsidian? I'm just going to try these 2 variant types. Not sure why they're so large. I do sleep. Unless I've been focusing on my lab for so much. Going to see how this works. So it takes about 10 seconds. But it's interesting that the drill is actually made out of iron and some andesite alloy. which is a combination of rock and zinc, which zinc is also an alternative to iron. That's impressive. Gotta make this phone call. Alright, so my mother called me and she's telling me, oh, do you want Chinese? And I said, sure. She's basically forcing me to get ready to go out, meaning we gotta go out and get dinner. I mean, she could have got it herself, but it's all part of the experience. Because one, life kind of just tries to pull you away, or reality just tries to find a way to, you know, cut into your free time. So I gotta place my because that means my lava will be right here. The stone will be converted here. But this really leaves me to not really have enough time to actually, it means once I go get the food, you probably would just see me just AFK and just look at a machine or something, but I don't know if a creeper is going to come by and destroy everything that I put hours into. Because this takes hours. Like, some people, when they do showcases or when they do a playthrough, it might be 30 minutes, but in reality, it's a lot more longer because you have to actually put in the time to do it. Like, this is all time, like, time consume. It's crazy. Yeah, see? That's how it's supposed to be. I think I could just do it like this. Okay. So yeah, I think for the water... Yeah, I will have to put a chute there. But it's working. Well, too efficiently. Just gotta put like a regular... I could just put like a regular chute or a smart chute. Thinking for a smart chute, I have to probably like do the whole... Make another electron tube. And use sandpaper. Honestly, I wish there was an easier way, but it seems like I'm still doing this manually until I make a polished rose quartz factory, and then we can just make a lot of electron tubes in a flash, or efficiently. Okay, yeah, smart chutes, and I can have them in a chest because it's a lot easier to put them in a chest since it's falling down. Since it's going to be falling down, you can actually see how messy it is. Like, look at all that stone just, you know, cluttering over there. So I will have to put a chute right here. See, this is what you're seeing, but I might have to add a filter where it allows it to be at least 64. But it's still filtering through. Strange it is filtering through that way. Like, it's not even a stack. That's quite strange. But it does tell you, like, this is pretty efficient. So, yeah. Like, right now you can see, like, it's braking. It's just doing what it's supposed to do. That's how efficient it is. It's insanely efficient. And then I have to... Then I have to use, gotta check over here. Then I gotta use vertical boxes. Okay, now they're joining online. I mean, that's a good sign. It means since I had a chat with them, they're kind of more open to just play. Made them relaxed a little bit. That's a good sign. All right. Since that's doing that, I have to see how this is going to play. Okay, that looks good, because I had to see how it's going to go on the belt, because I have to see. Because, see, there's not enough room for it to do that. Wait a second. I could probably make it go a little lower. But we're close to bedrock. Because this is like literally the lowest area that I could just put anything. Anything just to stay busy. And then when we add the gearbox, so if I look at it, it's going this way. Then I gotta somehow, because see, it's gonna have a lot of stone in here, lots of stone. Then if I want it to be outputted, it's gonna come on the belt. And then once it's on the belt, I have to put the large, then I gotta put the crushers, which means I have to make the mechanical belts, which means the mechanical belts have to go up. Means I have to try to elevate their height so it can go up to be fed into the crushing wheels. In which now I have to try to consider, you know, running the logistics of how to move one thing from the next. Because now that is efficient and it's working, I thought I could have made it higher so it can, you know, be towering just like these. But I'll say not all designs are going to be the same. They're going to be different based on my mental state or how I go on about my business. And if I want to do this, I got to see how tall, because I really have to see the height of this, because I have to see, like, see, it means it can go higher, meaning if I do it like this, it's like I gotta have like a marker. I'll say this angle is probably a good angle. See? Now what's gonna happen is it's gonna come up here and we have to just let it just fall down. But I mean, I could add a buffer where it just stores into the chest until it like drops a whole stack to keep it all nice and organized. But it's gonna be one heck of a circuit that we're doing, because since it's up there, unless there's like a way where it like, you know, it comes right back in, unless I can like recycle it, but I had to use the arms to do that. Because see, what's going to happen is we're going to have these large wheels to crush it, because that's what's going to happen. They're going to crush it, unless I got to like make it closer. Yeah, I might have to make these closer. Like that. And then I have to add a chest or a chute. Because I can step right here and I'm fine. So now all I gotta do is... because they all have chests. You can definitely tell like I'm going through a lot of creative changes. So if I just put like one chest as a buffer, and I might as well start teaching people if you want to use create, always make a buffer, because it makes it go in a little easily. And then when this happens, this one can take stacks. Okay, yeah, so I want that to enter in here, and then it's just going to overflow. Trying to do everything to reduce lag and spikes. So I know we have like another electron tube. Unless I used it for the other one. So that means I gotta make another one. But I know I have to get myself ready to go out, because once they tell me or my mother calls me, I gotta pause and then continue on life. But I'll just look at it as a break away from the monitor, so I can actually do things in real life. Because I could be in this lab for like hours. Like, this is not something you could just do in one sitting. Like, I mean, you can do it in one sitting, but to make something that's, you know, very sophisticating, it takes a lot of time. And then I just gotta add it like that. I want it to only be stacks. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna wait until it reaches a stack, and then it's just gonna be full of that cobble, just full of it. And then when it's time, I can add a chute, and the chute goes down here and it crushes. Unless I can make it recycle, somehow make it recycle. But actually, there might be an idea though. What if I somehow add this and make the, like, it comes down, then it moves, then it somehow goes back up or something. I was thinking about it. It crushes down, stops here, gets pulled, and then it does it again, and then I add another crush wheel, and then that's the crush one. And that means that one's going to turn it into sand, and then we got to filter those out. Because I'm still determined to make this today. I'm still determined to make it. It just sounds so sophisticating on paper or mentally. So let me just place a few of these. I'm just going to see if I can, like, make a few of those. Might have to get some more wood anyway. This one might be longer, but anything just to show progression. Alright, this falls down. It's going to naturally fall down. Because these over here, they just casually just fall down like it's, you know, natural. I could just do it like this. Yeah, I can do something like this. That looks strange, the way how it just phased through the block. But, it's going to drop down. It's going to drop right down here. And then once it drops, it gets crushed. Then once it gets crushed, then I have to add little mechanical belts to be moved, and then I gotta add, it's sort of like, because I'm also trying to see the spacing too, because maybe I might want it like this, and then it kind of like stops here, and then it pivots. Then I probably want it to pivot like this, and the cycle repeats again, where we have basically an ongoing, like an ongoing assembly that's just, you know, that constantly just does that. But I would say this is going to be my first time trying to do something like this, which is very sophisticated, because normally I never made farms like this before. To be transparent with you, because I never made a farm like this at all. So this is going to definitely be something new to learn and something new to take away from this. Okay, so this would mean this is a good spot to place it. So let me just, there we go. There we go. So now you see it goes like this, and I just do the cycle again with the crush wheels. But luckily, I'm probably going to be the only one that uses this lab, because if anybody else uses it, it's going to be dangerous. Like, there's just no way you can just sit around and be like, let's just, you know, let's just chill on top of the crushers, because you're just going to be in danger, because this is dangerous. So now I gotta power these up. Okay. Okay, so that means I gotta use this one. Okay, nope. So if I do this, because I know this one is gonna need something, but let me try. Yep, see, that one goes up, which is good. So if I do something like this... See, I don't want it to go that way. I don't want that to go that way. So I mean, I might play this one and this one. There we go. Even though it flang, but now, see, now you're seeing how this is gonna work. So it's like 2 that's working. So we got, see, this is where the stone goes in. And it's gotta wait like a whole stack until it reaches a stack, because right now it's still like building up stacks. So it's going to do that, then it falls down. I get these wheels powered up, but I made to add some more crush wheels or more wheels just to keep the power up going. Because what's going to happen, it's going to drop down here, it gets crushed, it gets moved, it goes back up, and it goes right into here again. And then when that happens, then I might have to use the mechanical belt to probably pull this way, because I gotta check gold again. I might have to do some more mining too, because see, I will have to make a because see, once I have sand, because that's what I'm trying to get out of it, is sand. Unless I want to like place the chest down, and you have the chutes where one is for lava and the other one is for lava, but it depends on how I move the stuff around. But if I do that, you get sand, gravel, whatever, and then I could just put like double chests of whatever, but I'm not sure, because I may have to put lava in there so I can just casually just drop in slowly, but it's still like a good amount. Then we have sand, and then once we do the sand, then I might have to blow it this way where the encased fan just blows at the I know, it's a lot on my mind, but I do see it as a plan. Unless I do want to like end off this part right here until I get myself ready mentally and then continue for the final hurrah for the gold process. Because I'm a very busy person and I just know this is going to take a while. But don't worry, everything will be on camera. But yeah, I think this is going to be where I use my shaders and just set it up as the start of gold or the gold rush. Oh yeah, it's so laggy. Yeah, this is really part of the experience. Alright, so now we got that. There we go. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and conclude this, and then we're going to come back later, and then we will finally set up the gold farm. And then once I set up the gold farm, I just don't know what else to do other than make some more vaults, cut down some more trees, replant some trees, and continue with create. Unless I want to go ahead and make a farm or something on my in my lab. But since I've chat with the owner, I did think about making the gantry because I might try to think about doing it. So once I build out the gantry, then that's when the idea or their lore actually comes into play, and it actually starts to make sense in a sense, if you get what I mean. But until then, see you guys with another part of the Monulite experience, and this might be Premiere 2 and might carry over to the other part. I just love doing that because it just keeps everything consistent. But yeah, see you guys later on.